for military.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic.
May be seated. This meeting has been advertised in one newspaper, the Daily Record, in compliance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Attendance?
Councilwoman Cheatham? Here. Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Motion to accept the minutes of February 23rd, 2021. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Correspondence?
If there's anything in place to allow public members to attend meetings of the borough virtually, if council is opposed to allowing the members of the public to attend meetings virtually, please explain the reasoning for the decision. I did tell her it's not that council opposes anything,
But in going through it, I saw that there is so much just in this one section that didn't relate to the needs of the borough, nor were they addressed to the needs of the borough. They talked about gasoline storage tanks, chemical storage tanks, sprinkler systems, which I'm sure there's a need for it here, but the amounts that they went into were ridiculous. They're talking about sprinklers in the whole borough. Carbon dioxide suppression systems, Halon 1301 suppression systems, all these things was made, and I don't think this code has ever been revised. It's been amended from time to time so that we put the new ordinances in it. But the code really has to be changed because there's so much in, and there's much in that's not in here that does apply to Victory Gardens. So my recommendation, my opinion, is that this code has to be gone over completely, every section, with the help of whatever professionals we have, the subcode official, fire official, etc., etc. I know the council was resistant to that, but I think it's and I guess this is the book originally that was the result of that. But all that did was ordinances, and we have to size it to the borough. Now we don't need it. To the borough. Now we don't need it. It's our new code adopted. And Debbie, Deb, as requested, I have amended the borough just changes in fees. Shows it to be outdated and includes language that is not applicable to in the housing. I am certain that there are numerous to understand. The changes recommended were essentially an increase in fees. The increases themselves seem to be arbitrary. They're all over the lot. The increase for its buildings. I know the council was reluctant to revising the code book. However, I believe that the code book requires a complete rewrite. It requires more than just adding the new ordinances over the adopted that have been adopted over the past years. And I have basically parts of 5 pages that were changed. So I think that's something we have to talk about or think about, but it should be done. It's going to be an expensive proposition, but I think it's necessary. That's all I have to say.
I also gave council a copy of, the first page was PPAC Gladstone, I think I gave everybody. This is in regards to Hondo Incorporated. It's from Nourish, New Jersey. And I gave you the packet that I received. And also told them that they have to come before a planning board. Because even if mayor and council thinks it's a great idea, it still has to go before the planning board, you know, because the planning board is the one that gives approval. But you have all the information. I think it's a great thing, you know, but again, so You have that. I don't know if anybody's looked it over or not, but I gave it to you.
good.
And like you said too, they're gonna agree to pay the $5,000 then?
Yeah, 4,000, whatever it is for the
4,900.
taxes, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A year? That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Court.
A quarter.
Quarter.
And the other thing I gave to council was guidance on the cannabis legalization. I took that off the League of Municipalities website. They sent it to us. It just gives you a little bit of background on that. So everybody has a copy of that also. And that's it for the correspondence.
The council, what are we gonna do as far as upgrading the code book? What would we like to do, or we want to talk about it in the future, or talk about it now, or as far as?
Every, what is it, administration, finance, every one of those committees should be.
Mhm.
It's more than just the fees.
Right.
Okay.
It's unclear in the code book.
Okay.
Redo.
Yeah.
We have enough committees and people working on it.
Yeah, we should.
So when are we gonna start this? That's what you were asking, right, Dave?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you have to do, we're gonna start on it, working on this,
Anytime in the near
so I
future.
guess you got to talk to.
So I'll talk to construction and all them, get that started.
You know, if it's done the correct way, the way the computer's been what they are today, we can put it on the website.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vouchers, did everybody get a chance to look at the voucher list?
Pay our bills?
Roll call?
Councilwoman Cheatham? Yes. Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hedgepath?
Yes.
Councilwoman White?
No, department report, building. Okay, old business.
Title. We talked about this several times. Everybody was told what the increase would be. And so now you have to open it to the public.
Okay, I'd like a motion to open this portion of the meeting to the public for discussion on the adoption of the sewer ordinance.
So motion to open this part of our meeting to the adoption.
Tim Janelle, 15 Franklin Road.
Yes.
Can you speak into the mic, Mr. Janelle?
Yeah. Like I said before, and I gave you all the facts. You guys, I know Joe had talked, the CFO talked about we need revenue. I don't see that as a responsible way to generate revenue, because it's bad enough we're gonna have to deal with school taxes going up. County taxes didn't go up, which is good. Municipal, you're still working on, and hopefully you don't raise taxes. But to slam people with another increase, I don't care if you didn't raise your rates in 20 years. There are other towns that are really hurting badly, and they had to raise rates because their fees for RVRSA went up because of the amount of gallonage that they're treating. Our gallonage went down. So that's why our rates were adjusted lower. We have never, ever, in the last 10 years that I've reviewed, have had where we owed more than we collected. We collected between 140 and 145,000. Our bill from RVRSA is 127,000. So if you can say, you know, than what we're collecting, then I can understand, it's justified. But you're revenue, extra revenue, but is very irresponsible to me. Only permitted, if you even thought about raising sewer, is 10%. And to me, 10% of 190 is $19. Yes, we're talking about $1. You wanna raise it $20, technically, according to the ordinance, it says you can only do 10%, which is $19.
We don't know what's gonna be happening in the future. For one, we don't make that much money in revenue during a year.
Yeah, but you have revenue from other sources you don't even know about.
But we have to still put money into our capital.
Yeah, but what you're doing is taxing people for something that,
Then, electric company or the gas company.
You're not a utility.
Am I right?
but you're not a utility.
But
You, they have public hearings. Utility here.
we're operating a town.
Right, but that's completely different. Operating a town is like operating a business. You're not.
In your opinion, we don't.
No, it's not my
In your
opinion.
opinion, yes.
This
I
is
give
your
you the
time.
facts
Oh.
that when you're getting billed less than what you're, but now you want to penalize people even more.
Well, we're not penalizing any.
More is renters, 50% is homeowners.
Okay.
Can you say that for a fact that this isn't going to cause a rent increase?
How can you
No,
go
you
against
can't.
this?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the fact is what you said about as far as it's more than half of the borough
This
are
is
renters.
based on the county figures. It's all done by county
And you're mayor of
statistics.
this town.
It's not something I made up.
Stupid.
Okay.
So don't say it's my opinion when I got it right from the county.
Right.
But I think we need to leave the sewer rates
Right.
alone.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
He's a good mayor.
I like that.
What?
I said he's a good mayor.
I like it.
Now.
Anyone else
Anyone else from the
Can't hear what
public?
you're saying.
pertaining to sewer?
Okay, like a motion to close the school for the meeting.
As the mayor
to
of
the
this
public.
town, should he know?
So motion
He
to
doesn't know
close the
nothing.
portion of the meeting to
I
the
know,
public
he's an idiot.
pertaining to sewer?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now I need a motion. Right. Okay, I need a motion for the adoption of the sewer ordinance.
And the sewer ordinance, Mayor, that's,
It would be 210.
that's for the to raise it to the 210?
Yes. From 190 to 210.
I say no, because they're getting hit with everything else. Taxes are going up. Everything, even the water bill's going up. So,
Council, rest of council.
I'm a no.
Okay, Mr. Glass,
Last even hearing.
I make a motion.
you made a motion.
Yes.
Has he been listening to the meeting?
what are you making a motion on?
For the tax increase, for the sewer increase?
Yes, we've discussed it enough, and I helped agree to it at the last meeting
Mhm.
or so.
Okay. Okay, we had a second. Okay. All right.
Councilwoman Cheatham?
Now, this is for confirmation, yes or no?
This is, there was a
This
motion and a
is
second.
Yes,
To raise it.
to raise it.
To 10. Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hedgepath? Yes. Councilwoman White?
Yes.
Councilwoman Garcia Montes?
No.
Three
That's
yes
it?
and two no, yes.
Okay.
people to hear from themselves.
All right, I'd like a motion to open. Favor?
Yeah, every one of you that voted yes. Talking.
And you don't have a right
I'm stating my opinion.
to tell
I'm
anybody about
stating my
a
opinion.
judgment on what your vote
I'm stating
was.
my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, based on your actions of voting, okay? I'm a resident here.
And you don't have the right to be inconsiderate to the
It's
people
not
that
being
made you.
inconsiderate.
Yeah, yes, it is.
I can say my opinion, just like anybody else in this world. What, are you gonna change the culture that nobody can give an opinion? I mean, who are you? You're not God, okay? I'm entitled to say what I can say.
You're inconsiderate anyway, so say
No,
what
I'm
you
not
want to
inconsiderate.
say. Say what
You're
you want to
elected
say.
officials, you work for the people.
Yeah, but, hey,
Not the other way
You're
around.
nobody's punching bag, I tell you that, and I told you that
If
before.
you don't like it, don't run for office.
Well, nobody's punching bag, just to let you know.
Nobody said you're a punching bag, but if you don't like the abuse, don't run for office. You
Oh, don't get
volunteered.
abused, we're not here to be abused.
Nobody's
We're
abusing
here.
you.
You're wasting your 5 minutes.
You volunteered to be up there on this council, okay? So don't sit there and say, well, I'm being beat up like a punching bag. You wanted the job, you got it.
Me, myself, I don't care, I'm just talking about the rest of the council.
He's being
In reference
biased.
to the code book, I think you forgot one part. The land use is outdated also. So maybe that's something that should be reviewed, because a lot of these codes go back to 1982 when they all.
The whole
Yeah.
book.
The whole book.
Yeah, but you didn't mention land use.
No, it's
You
like the
can
whole
mention
code book.
everything in there.
But municipal code book, the code book is one thing, but we also have a municipal land use book.
It's part of the
But that's
code.
part of our code.
Yeah, but in a separate
But
section.
it's part of the code.
Okay, as long as you're gonna have the planning board look at that too. And, I wanted to ask about the garbage bid that was put out. Now, are we supposed to, this is a question for the attorney, are we supposed to, if something is in that bid, we're supposed to live by it? So if something's very specific, is the contractor in the borough supposed to abide by that?
Well, the bid speaks for itself, that's the bid.
Okay, so when I read it, based on the old one, it said the pickup time was 7 AM to I think 10 AM. That's when garbage is supposed to be collected.
Mhm.
Is that true, or is
I
that
don't
just?
know, I don't live there.
Because my garbage is picked up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
They're not even supposed to be in here at 4 o'clock in the
that's,
morning.
I understand that, but at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're going down Franklin.
Well,
4, 5, somewhere around there.
Well,
But according to the bid, it says collection is at 7
You're
AM.
right, and as Debbie said, I guess you're not aware of that.
They've
Well,
always been.
you're up at 6
They've
o'clock in the
always-
morning, aren't you?
I'm up at 5:30.
You don't hear
But
that?
they don't get up on my street until
Oh, maybe,
I
yeah.
leave to come down here.
Okay, so maybe by the time they get up to you, but I know down here, they probably do all of this first thing in the morning. But I can set my watch almost every time to them. They're out there at like 4,
I'll call and
4:35,
tell them,
but it says 7 AM according to the contract bid.
okay.
And also, you were talking about revenue. How, what's the update with the, I know I mentioned this before, and this is on you, Mayor and Debbie, about the EMS billing.
Mhm.
Did you ever get an update on that? Because,
I spoke to, the mayor and I actually had a meeting with,
The administrator.
new
Yes.
administrator.
yeah, he's fairly new. He probably-
And I still have my call in to the chief. I have not heard back from him yet. I did call him twice.
Okay, because if you're looking for revenue, and based on their figures, if we're getting 9%, 9% of $250,000, they got 257, I think it is. So we should be entitled to between $20,000 and $24,000. You know, if that's what they're basing it off of. So, I mean, you wanna push for revenue, there's one you should be pounding, and that's in the contract, Mr. Feintuck. I don't know if you even read the contract, but the very last couple of paragraphs it talks about EMS billing.
Is it an EMS billing of all their income, or just that which is from, the village, the gardens?
Just ours.
Yeah, just ours.
No.
They do for them
No,
also.
but it says in there, Dover went with a billing, a third-party billing company. They go out in an EMS call, the billing company takes care of billing the insurance. We fall under the shared service because the shared service agreement says if Dover ever enters into that agreement, they also have a right to do Victory Gardens as well. That clause is in there. And what happened with the fire and EMS committee, the third person? Who is that? You said you were gonna get back to me on it.
Councilwoman Hedgepath said that she would do it.
Okay, and what's the update on the school?
We haven't paid them this month, I gather.
You're talking about for busing.
The busing, yeah, because they're gonna be
School's
doing,
going back in April.
well, their budget's coming up in April, I believe. That's the public, introduction of it. But can't wait to see what that's gonna be. And, let's see. I had no clue what you were talking about. It's like you guys were talking in code earlier about the show place. Can you elaborate a little bit? You were talking like like, oh, well, everybody's got a copy of it. It's like, well, what's going on with it?
Jim, we were given a copy of paper from a company that wants to buy the show place right there.
Yeah, that part I got.
Okay.
But I know there was
Do you know
showing.
the company?
So, Hondo?
Here,
Do you know it? I wanna help the community find people jobs, don't give out food.
Can I keep this?
yep.
Oh, this is who's looking to go over there? Because I know there was medical marijuana looking to go over there.
Right, but we haven't heard any more from them.
Yeah, they're still working on the
And
whole.
again, they would still have to go before the planning board.
Yeah, they're still working on legalization stuff.
And these people could pay straight tax and
Okay, this is not a non-profit, I hope.
I believe it is nonprofit, but we have a letter from them saying that they would be paying the taxes.
Okay.
Same amount that we currently get from the,
Okay, that makes more sense, because non-profits, they're great, but on the tax base, it kind of hurts.
right.
And Mayor, you get back to me on what Liam Hall said about the property I said you guys should sell.
It is a buildable lot according to zoning.
Yeah, we knew that.
Right.
We're right.
Okay, so I guess you'll talk about that at your budget and what you're gonna do with it, if you want income.
you gonna buy it, Jim?
No, I don't want it. Then I get to live next to the
Anyone else
property.
from the public?
Thank
Would you
you.
ladies like to come up?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Terry Connolly. I am from Nourishment Day. And I wanted to be here tonight and...
Microphone
Oh,
closer.
sorry, yes, of course. So really just to be here available to you guys if you had any questions
I'm
about...
sorry, where'd you say you were from?
Nourishment Day.
Never.
The one that we,
Oh, okay, all right, did you bring sandwiches?
I could come back to the, proposed pilot agreement and everything like that, so.
Where do you operate now?
Right now, we are in Morristown, and the plan for the organization is to build a headquarters, hopefully, at the show place. And really that space makes sense because we do a lot of work in Dover and a lot of work with the Dover school system. And it's a great location for highway access and all of that.
And how are you funded?
So we are privately funded, so each year we raise about $2 million. And of that $2 million that we raise, most of it gets spent back out in programs for the community. We do have a nice reserve built up, and we're also in the middle of a capital campaign. We have raised 2 courses to this part of the county.
How much staff do you have?
We have 16 staff total, and yes, so one of the things that we prioritize in any communities that we go in, this facility would create the opportunity for a lot more positions for free farmers market coordinators, social workers, administrative staff.
Morristown?
So we, our location is in Morristown, but we serve Morristown, we serve Dover, and then we do a lot of work in Parsippany. And as we kind of begin to expand assistance, employment assistance,
Right.
mental health care. So part of our goal is to make sure that as we move into new areas, we're really understanding what that community is about and working with the people who live there to figure out what's needed, to hire from that community, and to really be a partner with the people and the local government there.
And what did you say, mental health also?
Yeah, so we have, I'm a clinical social worker, we have 2 other clinical social
Oh,
workers.
great.
So we do a lot of work around mental illness, addiction, And we're preparing now, because with COVID, there's a lot of
Mhm.
trauma and there's a lot that people have faced. So that's one of the programs that we are expanding, as we grow. Everything we do is free. This is well determined.
And you provide social services?
We do. So we will connect people to whatever services are available in the county, and there's a lot that's out there. The problem is usually that people just aren't able to connect to it. So we will help them make that connection. And then we run our own housing and homelessness prevention services, which is either helping people move into housing or helping people pay back rent with this eviction moratorium that's been in place. We have employment programs where people can work with us and then we transition them out into the workforce. Or we have programs where we just help people, in market jobs. And then we have health services. We work with Morristown Medical Center and Zufall Health Center. We do medical case management for senior citizens. And we have our own mental health counseling programs.
Good, great.
You said with the renters, back rent that they owe, you help with that. What about with a person that owns a house and it is, because of the COVID situation, their mortgage is overdue or whatever?
So that's one of the great things about the way we're funded, is that we aren't restricted by,
Because there's no organizations right now, or the, I don't even have anything.
so we're very flexible. If somebody comes to us and we get to know them and they say, I'm 2 months behind on my mortgage and, I'll be foreclosed upon, we have the ability to, just help to pay that back rent and then help them to come up with a plan for how to be able to, for that back mortgage. So we're very flexible in that we don't have that, like, check the box, you have to be able to show.
The paperwork I was given, it's a very good program that you have.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for doing it.
It's a great place, and there's so many people in the county who are in need right now.
That's right.
And we're honored to be able to do the work.
How long have you been in existence? I mean you, and you.
34 years, and I have been with the organization for 24.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I was 12.
I figured. Okay, I guess that's it.
Now, did you do your paperwork for planning board yet?
We did not. I know our attorney was in touch with the zoning officer, so we're kind of in process.
Okay, good.
Really just wanted to check in with you guys, let you know I can leave some cards if anybody, or do you guys have the paperwork? So you
I
have
gave
the
them
phone
the
number?
paperwork.
Feel free to
I'll
reach
take the card too.
Feel free to reach out anytime. I'd love to talk to you guys.
Now, do you only do Morris County? Or, so it's Morris County right now?
Morris County today, Northern New Jersey in a couple of years, and
Okay.
statewide after that. We'll get there. I'll leave you right here.
Okay. Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Christopher?
No. Thank you.
I'd like a motion to close the meeting to the public.
So motion to close our meeting to the public.
All in favor?
Nice to see you.
And I'd like a motion to do the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mayor.
Do you pay?
Oh, good.
Sure.